Hello. This is going to be a fun video. As you can tell in the background, I'm currently watching Uzi. Kind of tired. I was supposed to make this video a long time ago, even way before this month has started. But long story short, the VOD did not save. So before I even get into the video, I want to say this. I was planning to use Ella, not Thorn, and I realized Thorn already had a setup for this map. And then now with her new buff, it would be even better. So I just kind of copied and pasted what I known and didn't know about Thorn and then just did it like I was supposed to. This video is going to be back and forth, but also on topic. So I want to normalize something. Get used to playing off-site. Playing off-site not only means you just set up 1-2 barricades, 1 reinforce, and then you just play off-site and then you just chalk it when it gets too hectic. No, playing off-site meaning play off-site like it's an actual site. Play it like you're trying to defend it with your life in some cases. But point is, play off-site. It can work in your favor, and it can also make the enemies separate, because not all the time they can just rush one spot. They can just flood one area. They have to realize there's blind spots, there's flanks, there's, backsides, there's things you cannot watch on your own, and it's taking the risk of being vulnerable. So in the best way possible, I would try to keep up with the video, and as I talk about why I believe playing off-site should be a normalized thing. And I wouldn't call it meta. I'll just call it something that needs to be normalized, because not all the time playing site can help us out in the long run. And if you're confused, playing off-site doesn't really mean you have to play with your whole life. No, playing off-site literally just means keeping the enemy on their toes and keeping them from pushing from site close as possible. Because there's a saying, you don't go over things, you go through things, and it also falls under when people say get over it, like you can't get over the fact that, your girlfriend cheated on you or some other shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get over that. You go through it. So look at it as if it's in siege terms. You can't go over someone playing off site. They're going to catch you off guard. That's the whole point of playing off site. They're going to catch you off guard, or they're going to catch you pushing somewhere else differently. That's the only thing that's going to happen. So try not to discard playing off site. Even though you may think, well, it's not actual site. It doesn't matter. Just let them take this. We can just play site. Think about this. Think about you make the perfect site setup, and then Castle, he barricades all the entrances and the exits. The site setup is not being played well because you can't move. So the enemy team doesn't have the drone. They just walk in the building and they literally have 2 minutes to themselves. Literally 2 minutes. Max, what? The round starts at 3 minutes. Then it goes down. They literally have 2 minutes to make anything happen. So it's not really good to barricade and reinforce everything. Bro, let them be skeptical. Don't let them run in so quickly and so fast. So just to support my answer and my belief is, that's why I believe playing off-site is really good. Because you're not only making the enemy not push in, you're making them drone unnecessary things. And that it has to be taken care of. Like, again, you cannot get over something. You go through it, You get through the breakup. You can't get over it, bro. It would completely haunt you forever. And I just say that because I'm kind of trying to make it not reasonable, make it relatable so it can be more understandable. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, just Be different, because people would hate the fact that you're trying to reinforce something and they want this certain spot to be reinforced. I get that, but my guy, this is a possibility that they might actually push this, and then on my behalf, it's a guaranteed they're gonna push this. Why? Because they have to get here to get to site, and it's something simple as this too as well. Playing off site is equivalent to the attackers going to site. So I'm gonna put it in like a little alphabetical order. Why did I just mumble jumble? Why? So playing off site is equivalent to going through A, B, and C, for example, right? Hear me out. For the attackers, A and B is equivalent to A, B, and C. Why? Because that's how much time it gets. Am I saying it right? Hold on. Fat moment. I'm paused. Yeah. It's equivalent to the attackers pushing site, saying that, oh, site's clear. But reality, by the time you get there, by the time you hit C, they'll already be at B. So now it's like you're basically already here. So what I'm saying is playing off site adds an extra alphabet. Just playing site alone just adds A and B, So C is the offsite. That's where you tend to take care of loose ends. That's where you take care of the enemies who are pushing in different directions. That's where you take care of enemies who are trying to hold a cross or trying to get like a backstab type of kill, This is why we make offsite not only a strategy, it's a skill. You cannot play offsite if you don't know what you're doing and why you're watching offsite. Because oftentimes, again, when the enemy knows you're not playing on site, they can just push site. And then you realize now you have to pay attention to pushing back to site. They're attacking. They're not going to push you. They have site control. So why risk for KD versus a win? You know what I'm saying? So A and B in attacker form is equivalent to A, B, and C in defense form. Because by the time you leave that rotate, you're going to be in sight, technically. And they're just not hitting the window. You know what I'm saying? So it can go a long way of trying to catch someone off guard or also catching them in the act. The worst way to die, and I will say it for myself as well, the worst way to die is when you get caught in the act. Like, bro, I just cleared this. I droned this. My teammate even double droned it for me. The moment I get through this window, the moment I do this certain push, I get literally timed. Timed as in, siege timing. But reality is like, bro, like, how do I get caught in the act? Like, how? Like, I was just here, And that's the worst feeling because it's equivalent. Like, you cannot beat timing. And that's the biggest thing too about siege is siege timing. And it does kind of result under, fall under, being patient and, playing offside and all that good stuff. But importantly is just getting caught off guard. Getting caught off guard and getting caught in the act. I hate that. That's the biggest siege deficit right there, is getting caught in the act. So now, when it comes to trying to play offsite, you're having your center. This is in NBA terms, so just hear me out. If you can improvise. You have your center, your small forward, and your power forward play offsite. Your point guard and small forward. Yeah, I'm right. Your small forward, your power forward, and your center play offsite. And it's your point guard and then somebody else. I forgot. But I'm probably slow as a bitch. Then you have your point guard and another person play onside. So a 3-2. That's what it is. And it can work in both ways. A 2-3, a 3-1, a 3-2, a 4-2, It can work in ways where it's what does that mean? Like, it can work horizontal and vertical. Vertical just represents, playing off site across from site. Horizontal just means playing off site under or above site. So it's like you get the gist of it, right? The little memo. But anyways, it's it's much so as you want to have the enemy push your off site. That is the plan, because the plan isn't to let them push away from the off site. You would want them to push into the off site, because it indicates that a push not only is bound to happen, but it indicates this is where the bait begins. The moment you give attention to someone playing off site, that's where the bait begins. They're not baiting their body, they're baiting the position, they're baiting the room, they're baiting the vicinity, they're baiting something. And it goes a long way of just say ho. Just say oh, sorry. Oh, ho. Anyways, like just say, oh, I'm just gonna go and not push this and go straight to site. Mind you now, A and B and C is one thing. And then two, it's not only this player playing off site. You have three other players playing off site in different directions. And you have players on site. So, and that's where, the pressure comes in as like, let's flood site, let's flood this, let's flood that. And in some cases, having a good off site setup can literally force the enemies to play util just to make sure to take you out or to make you push off. And that's the very big important thing, is when you can make players attack off site like it's an actual site, that's where you win. They only have a few utils. They only have few tools, Ace cannot ace forever. Thermite can't ace forever. Even though these attackers got buffed, but they cannot do it forever. It's not what you want to do with it, it's what's gonna make it work. It's like Ash would always want to Ash rush, but how can you make this work? You have to make some type of distraction. You need somebody. You need to make this work, and it's not about just, again, not trying to get in the building first. It's about getting in the building and getting intel. It goes a long way. I'll say this is a stretch. You cannot enter a building and expect no one to be watching you. And that's why they have cameras at defenders. Don't expect people to not watch you. They're going to. And I'm not going to lie. If you expect that, expect a push. Oftentimes, people don't ping people. They don't announce it. They yellow ping. So alone, if you see a camera on or a camera in general, shoot it. That's the biggest thing. And secondly, again, they're not gonna announce that, oh, I see you, let me scan you so I can for surely see you. No, they already see you enough with their own two eyes. So a red ping will only make you more cautious, shoot the camera, and run away. You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is playing off site and making it work. I would kind of push that more, making it work. Not all the time it can work, and it doesn't work all the time because it's not meant to be held for very long. So when you're playing off site, don't risk your life. And in some cases, you can and you should, but not in all cases you should be doing the same thing over and over, which is trying to risk your life and make it so perfect. No, playing off site is just minimal. It's just to hold people for a little bit of time. And if it's strong enough, for sure, shit, play it like it's real sight. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? So don't have the habit of let's play off site every single game. It might not work in your favor every single game, and it might not even last long. Trust me, I've done it, and in some cases too, I'll play offsite so much I don't even get pushed. Not even a drone. Not even a drone. So it could be a 1v5, just me. I gotta walk all the way back to site. like there's no way, you know what I'm saying? So not all the time playing off site works. It's just a distraction, and it's literally just a momentum chalk. It's like, oh shit, we can't push this because they have a site set up off site. and we need to get into sight. But the only way is to go through this room. And that's where playing off site plays a big role at, because it's not about rushing in. It's about holding their pushes. They cannot push anywhere but here where you're trying to hold at. And only because they can't push it, because you have a sight set up on it. And it's difficult because going other directions make it so obvious. Because as a defender, playing off-site, a good off-site, you make the attackers play their second option like their first option. And then now you can think about it. Their second option is their first option, so you're already here. And then the second option is default, so you know for sure this will be a second option as a push, or, you know, a take. And I think that's pretty unique, because now you have the enemy mentally chalked. Their plans, literally, you're ahead of them. Simple. Playing off site, you can be ahead of enemies. And I just thought it would be a good idea to honestly play off site more, learn the maps more. And again, not every site has a good off site setup. You know, be creative, learn. That's just me. But at the end of the day, though, yeah, that was good. Yeah, good little pod. Anyways, like always, no, that was wrong. No, do it again. Like always, have fun and GG's. And yeah, a bonus. I'm sorry. If you don't want Castle, go Mirror. This is a bonus. Check it out.